What's up, everybody? Today, we're going to be doing back testing on Monday, the 24th, until the January 3rd. We have a few trades to go over. Let me go over one by one. I'm on Discord too, but I figured no one else would join so far because there's not a lot of people. But that's why I'm posting this on YouTube. Um, I think I could put a link to the Discord in the description or the link tree. But besides that, let's get to it. This is NQ on my funded account. Well, not funded yet, but challenge the evaluation account. For this week, overall, it was like a mix of bullish and bearish. Towards the start of the week, it was more bearish. I think there was this 4-hour fair value gap right here too. Yeah. And then after I was bearish until this got swept. I don't think this did get, oh yeah, it did. And then after this got swept, it was majorly bullish, as you can see. And now I think price is gonna target this for next week. So you could say, I mean, we just did broke this structure, probably a retracement when the market opens back up, and then it'll just zigzag up into this. But besides that, let's go to this day here. All of these were like we're just using the 1 hour and the 15 minute for the most part. I don't remember using the 4 hour or anything like that, other than the weekly and daily bias that I just told you guys. I didn't catch a lot of these trades, but that's what we backtest for to see what we missed and things like that. So that's what we're going over. But um each of these sessions 30 minutes before I'd be doing the analysis. So keep that in mind when I go to each session. But for this session, obviously you have this low, this high. I was just playing the liquidity. So and I think I was trying to take a trade into the liquidity actually, which is what this is. This 15-minute fair value gap. Price came into here. And then was just looking for a turtle soup entry. As you can see, came up, displaced, fair value gap, retraced back into it, and then came down, targeted this. That's a good target. You have a few targets. You have that, you have this, you have this, you have down here, which I don't, it did come down, but I think it went up first and then came down. So a few targets. Let's see what would have happened if you came for all of them. Yeah, I would have got hit. So obviously, could have went down here. But when I saw this, I mean, 1 to 3 is good enough. Um, okay. On to the next session. Yeah, it went all the way down, so you could have really targeted all the way down to here. But that would have been crazy risk to reward. but it did happen nevertheless. On to the next. So at this point, where was I at? On the 1 hour. What about the 4 hour? Yeah, I mean, it came down. I was looking for this. I was still bearish until here. So, but you just had this big down move. So maybe a retracement up into something. I'm trying to remember for the 15th. I mean, the only thing that was really here was the 5 minute breakup structure, and just assuming that price was gonna make a retracement because of that really strong down move like this. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of higher time frame bias. On top of the fact that I was still bearish, but you know, so you had the 5 minute breakup structure with a retracement into a fair value gap. You have this 5 minute fair value gap, but inside of that 5 minute, you have this 1 minute, which is where it retraced to. And this would have been a good entry because you have this market structure shift after that 5 minute turtle soup, plus the market structure shift into the 1 minute fair value gap, and that would have been your buy when that was in the session. And let it play out. Boom. So that was that. Nope, not yet. Okay. Now let's go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I mean, honestly, if you took all of these trades, 6 winning trades in the first week of 2025, that's a crazy start. Now, obviously, you have a bunch of what ifs, like, hey, what if this happened? What if I did take these trades? What if all of these? But this is why we backtest, because seeing that this strategy worked this many times in 1 week, and I'm pretty sure all of these are wins, except for like two of them, one or two. Like that's insane. That's a crazy win rate. You know what I mean? For the first week was a good start, but that's besides the point. Let's go to the next. Okay, where were we at with this? I think we were trading off of liquidity, yeah. So price swept these two liquidity points. Liquidity. So the 30 minute, 15 minute, obviously. And what do we have on the 5 minute? Is this the same? No, it looks the same though. We have the same type of thing. 5 minute fair value gap. Um, so price swept out liquidity, so we're looking for 1 minute buys. So 1 minute turtle soup, and then you had this breakup structure. And then if we go by our OTE zone, we would have entered right here. But this whole thing, I just did the whole thing because some of it was in this OTE zone, so I'm like, okay, I'll just do the whole thing. Select the whole thing instead of coming down here. But if you wanted to be more accurate, I guess could have did that. But this was the breaker block trade, or no, this is the order block. Boom. Yeah, that targeting the buy side. You could have targeted all the way up to the buy side, but this would have been my target. Also, look at the risk to reward. You don't want to be too greedy. You know what I mean? 1 to 5 is nice, but 1 to 3 is good too. 9 minutes of the bad. All right. On to the next. Let's see it. This was that move that went all the way. Oh no. I was still looking for this to get swept because it had this little retracement, which is strange because it broke the structure. Completely disrespected that. But where was I at this point? Yeah, so this just swept. So I think this day I was actually looking for buys because it just swept this. So I was looking for, I think I took buys, or I could have at least, if you traded off this order block after this market structure shift. Tap in, you could have got a really nice trade right there. That's one that I didn't see. Because I technically back tested these before this video. I just like wanted to see it. And then when I saw it, then I figured I'd make a video. But I just saw this one too. Because this would have been like an actual nice one. Considering that it swept this. So once you sweep sell side, or this is buy side technically because you're buying over here. So that side got swept, and then you also had a turtle soup, very slight turtle soup into the market structure shift up, and then retracement into the order block for a 1 to 2.81, targeting the top of this, not all the way up. I don't like to target all the way, like it's too risky sometimes. Plus, like I said, that risk to reward ratio, like you don't want to be too greedy. 1 to 3 is fine. But yeah, that one. But that's not the one that I was looking at originally. It was this one, which I'm curious. 'Cause I sometimes forget. I think it was based on the fact that it closed below this fair value gap. So this bullish fair value gap got disrespected. So at this point, I'm looking for buys, which works out because this fair value gap got respected. The broke structure and then retraced again. I entered at the middle. You'll see the trades that I actually entered because it'll have the execution arrows, but that's what I like about the futures is that it actually like shows you proof that you entered it, which is good for like accountability and stuff like that. But besides that, and obviously all of these entries are within the time frame. There you go. There's that. Now these are all back to back, by the way. Don't forget, this is back to 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 back. You know what I mean? That's 8 back to back to back to back to back to back to back trades in the first week of January. I mean, the first week of 2025. Isn't that crazy? Did I do this one? Or I need to delete these so I know. Yeah, yeah, okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So at this point, price obviously was retracing into the 1 hour fair value gap, which it did. Then it kept going lower, which I think there was yep, this 30-minute right here. 30-minute fair value gap, then you have the 1 hour. So obviously we're looking for buys, but apparently it wasn't so obvious because there was a sell. So price did sweep that liquidity. If the it swept it on the 30-minute, on the 15-minute. It was I think I took buys this day because I didn't pay attention to the 30-minute on how much it retraced. I was just looking at the 15-minute because it closed above, so I was looking for buys. So I think we might see one of my nope, I guess not. Okay. But yeah, so that buy side, that top side got swept. So after that, we were looking for turtle soup entries and this. There's a turtle soup. There's that market structure shift down, and then obviously you have the fair value gap entry targeting here or that 15-minute fair value gap. I mean that 30-minute fair value gap. Like you could have targeted that. I like targeting these highs or lows. There's that day. Um, it's honestly really straightforward once you understand the concepts because it's just the same thing over and over again, just in a different combination. But relatively, they're all like the same, and they always happen like one of four or five different ways. It's just the same pattern every time. You just have to see it, whether it's like a direction movement off of a fair rally gap or like just liquidity sweeping off of consolidation. We still have three more. Uh, okay. So at this point, I was just looking to see where price retraced to, if it tapped into anything. But over here it closed below this 15-minute fair value gap where you see the horizontal dotted line right here. You can see it closed below. There's an indicator that it's going down more. So before it went down, obviously you would have to retrace up into something. So I think at the time of this, I went like this or something like. And then I went to the OTE. I'm like, okay. But first I saw this fair value gap. Obviously, I always look for fair value gaps. And then I saw that it closed above, but it still like respected that direction. I'm like, okay, so it must have been this order block right here. And then at that point, I was just looking for sells, which over here it gave us this turtle soup, and then it gave us this displacement down, displaced over these three lows, but there was no retracement. You could have bought off of this, I guess, because after this it retraced back into this order or this breaker block. And your stop could have been like this at that, and then like targeting this six risk to reward ratio. So I don't know if price went all the way down, but I know this one hit. So price, I didn't get a entrance over there at the time. Um, so I waited for price to retrace into this 15-minute fair value gap, which it did, and is along with this 5-minute fair value gap. Now at this point, you'd be looking for a 1-minute break of structure. Uh, which didn't break any structure there. I don't know why I put that there. 'Cause it wasn't a, or was it? No, I think these are equal. No, yeah, these are equal. But, oh, that's why, because it still technically is a displacement. Um, so usually I don't like to place, usually consider these displacements or market structure shifts down when this isn't really a low, it's an equal low, which is like more of a magnet to go to the opposite way after it gets swept, but it worked this time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But then there's that fair value gap, and then obviously price went down. See if it goes all the way down. I don't think it does though. No, it doesn't. Oh, it does. So eventually it would have worked. Just would have taken 2 hours. Not too bad. Um, Next trade. Two more. If there was an audience, it'd be a lot better because then I could answer questions and things like that. But whatever. Here's the same type of thing. You have liquidity. Buy side got sub first. So at this point, I was waiting for buy side to get swept, which it did. And I'm waiting for a turtle soup, which it also did. Turtle soup. And I think on some of these there's a SMT as well, because I remember looking for SMTs this week on ES as well, which is a good confirmation. I'm glad I added that to my trading plan. Um, but it's really just the same thing over and over again. The shit works, you know what I mean? Next. And all of these trades are within the session. All of these trades I'm going over, they all follow the trading plan. At this point, I think this was a retracement into a 30-minute. If I rather get 15, yep, here's a 15-minute. Obviously, you had this big spike up after that level got swept. So now I'm bullish for the most part, and this just solidified it with that 15-minute fair value gap after that huge push up. So at that point, I was looking for turtle soups on the 5 and 1 minute, which you had both of them, but more on the 5 minute than the 1 minute. It's more of a breakup structure. And then you had this market structure shift, you have this fair value gap, and yeah, but I think this entry was on the 2 minute because price didn't displace until this candle. So I was still waiting for that entry, which didn't happen. And then obviously, yeah, boom. And then you had this sell as well after this minor sell side, I mean, this minor liquidity sweep, which was 5 minute turtle soup. You had this reaction of this bullish for value gap, then it rejected it, showing the bearish order flow, and then you had this. You could have entered off of this. I didn't personally enter off this. You had this after price closed below the bullish fair value gap and broke the structure. You could have entered off this candle, but I don't usually enter like that. But I do kind of want to start trading off of inverses after these candle closes. I just want to see what it looks like more in the live market. Um, but yeah, that was this week, Monday 24th to January 3rd. Um, if you want to learn more about how the strategy works or just how to learn it, it's all in my Discord for free. Still a work in progress, obviously. Uh, but yeah, back test sessions every weekend. I'm gonna try to do that. And then same thing with the sessions. Each session I'm gonna be streaming live, whether it's on my phone or when I'm at home on my laptop. But yeah, that was the video and the session back testing. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments or just text me. Uh, yeah, peace.